Hello everyone, welcome back to Autotrend TV. This is Viprajesh from Chandra Hyundai showroom in Coimbatore. I am here with the brand new Hyundai Alcazar signature optional top spec automatic variant. The Alcazar is Hyundai's new 6 or 7 seat mid-size SUV aimed to compete against the likes of the Tata Safari, MG Hector Plus and the new upcoming Mahindra XUV 700. Currently, it is also claimed to be one among the most feature-loaded SUVs in this category. The new Hyundai Alcazar is based on the platform as the latest generation Hyundai Creta, and as a result the Alcazar looks a lot similar to the Hyundai Creta when viewed at the front or the front three quarters. Starting from the headlamps to the C-pillar, a lot of design elements and body panels are shared with the Hyundai Creta, but still Hyundai have managed to provide the Alcazar its own identity with different design elements and new features. Talking about exterior design elements first, the Alcazar carries forward the very same trio beam all LED headlamps with LED DRLs from the Hyundai Creta. However, the front grille receives a different treatment, getting rectangular studs and chrome garnish all over. While the lower bumper looks quite similar to that seen on the Hyundai Creta, the design of the fog lamps and the skid plate is quite different. Overall, from the front at least, the Alcazar's design may divide opinions. However, from the side profile, the Hyundai Alcazar looks pretty good and proportionate. That said, one cannot miss the shared body panels with the Hyundai Creta, like the front doors, windshield, the front fenders and the bonnet. The mid-spec Platinum and the top-spec Signature variants get these dual-tone machine-cut 18-inch alloy wheels, while this top-spec Signature variant alone gets the body-integrated side footsteps. Another key fact to know about the Hyundai Alcazar is that all-wheel disc brakes are standard across all variants. The higher spec variants also get the chrome garnish on the door handles, which looks significantly different to that seen on the Hyundai Creta. While the ORVM design is similar, the ORVMs on the Hyundai Alcazar's mid-spec and the top-spec variants get an integrated camera as a part of the 360-degree surround view monitor system. All variants of the Hyundai Alcazar also provide silver-finished roof rails as standard, along with the large panoramic sunroof, which really adds to the ambience of the cabin. While everything including the sunroof has been borrowed from the Hyundai Creta, from the C-pillar the Hyundai Alcazar is significantly different compared to the Hyundai Creta. The D-pillar has been given a glossy black finish to lend the roof a floating effect. Compared to the Hyundai Creta, the Alcazar is exactly 200 mm longer with a longer wheelbase and a larger rear overhang. That said, the rear fascia of the Hyundai Alcazar is rather handsomely designed, while also resembling that of the Ford Endeavour or the Tata Hexa. All variants get the exact same wraparound LED tail lamps, with the standard chrome beam connecting the tail lamps. And yes, all variants also get the silver finished skid plate on the rear bumper with rather large looking reflectors, and this being the 2-liter petrol model, the Alcazar also gets twin tailpipes as standard. While all variants get the rear windshield wiper washer and defogger as standard, the signature badging is available only on the top spec variant, and this being the petrol model, you also get a 2.0 badging on the left side corner. Inspired by the Ford Endeavour, there is also the Alcazar badging on the chrome beam connecting the tail lamps. So overall, in terms of design, the Alcazar is definitely a handsome looking mid-size 7-seat SUV and seems to provide a lot of standard features. Due to the extra length, the Alcazar may also be more practical than the Hyundai Creta, and to check that out, let's get inside this car to check out the features and the interior comfort.
Yes folks, I'm right now inside the brand new Hyundai Alcazar 6-seater signature optional top spec automatic variant. So this is the topmost variant of the Alcazar lineup. That means it is absolutely loaded with features including a large digital instrument cluster, the large 10.25-inch touchscreen system, automatic climate control, the massive panoramic sunroof which I'm yet to open, and it also gets electronic park brake with auto hold function and ventilated seats as well. First of all, let's take a look at the interior theme and layout. Well, first of all, you can see that the dashboard, the door panels and even the seats are exactly as seen on the Hyundai Creta, so no difference whatsoever in terms of design or layout. The difference, however, is in the color and details. You can see that the Alcazar gets this cognac brown color theme along with the black on the seats and on the door pads and even on the dashboard as well. Everything is very soft to touch. I mean, everything is hard plastic, no soft feel materials over here. They are not soft to touch, but still they are premium to look at, premium to feel, and this car looks really good on the inside as well. Everything you hold, everything you feel, everything you touch is of a really high quality, and this definitely feels significantly premium than the interior of the Hyundai Creta as well. Since it's very hot today, let me just turn on this car, and the button to start the car is on the right side of the steering wheel, along with other controls for the ESP traction control, front parking sensors and the headlamp leveler. So starting it, this is how it looks like, and the first impression is that it looks really rich with this large digital instrument cluster. This is a feature normally seen on much more expensive cars, but the Alcazar provides a fully digital, full color TFT instrument cluster. It is almost as large as the infotainment system, and the details on this display are very crisp as well. The controls for this digital instrument cluster is on the right side of the steering wheel as expected, and it is a rather easy to use system as well. You can easily navigate through all the displays, the facilities and features available on this display itself. This display also includes another surprise feature, that is the blind spot monitoring system, or the blind spot camera system, which basically activates the cameras mounted underneath the ORVMs when you actually just tap the indicator, be it on the right side or the left side. You can easily monitor your blind spot while driving, say for changing lanes on the highways or anything. This is a very incredibly useful feature, first seen on the Kia Seltos. Now this feature is also available on the mid-spec and the top-spec variants of the Alcazar as well. Other things include regular driver information systems such as fuel details and mileage, digital speedometer reading, and of course you also get a compass, and you also get tire pressure monitoring system. All the utility functions are covered in this digital driver's display itself. And then we have the engine temperature gauge integrated into this circle itself, the circle of the tachometer, and the fuel gauge is over here integrated into the speedometer circle itself. And then lower down over here we have the instantaneous efficiency bar and the drive mode indication as well. Now the car is in economy mode, so now it shows eco, and this here is the car's main odometer. This car is brand new, so it has run 355 kilometers only, and this is the actual range for the fuel left inside the car. So this is how the digital instrument cluster works. It is pretty good, and if you want to change your drive modes, you can also do that using this rotary knob over here. The drive mode selector is available on the automatic variants alone. You just press this button and it shows you whatever menu you want. You can either choose the multiple drive modes available in the drive menu or the traction menu. Say for example, you have the comfort mode, economy mode and the sports mode in the drive section, and in the traction section you have the snow mode, the sand mode and the mud mode. So this basically alters the ESP traction control response according to the drive mode you choose. And that's it about the instrument cluster. It is very crisp to read, and even at higher speeds, depending on whatever mode you choose, it is so crisp, so nicely detailed, and it is actually a HD display as well. So that is nice attention to detail and quality. Then coming to other features, of course, the Alcazar being a premium 6 or 7 seat SUV, you have cruise control as standard, and you also have automatic headlamps. And then, as I already showed you, this car also gets 360 degree surround view camera from the mid-spec variant itself, along with blind view monitors on the instrument cluster itself. Well, now let's talk about this large infotainment system. This here is the very same 10.25 inch touchscreen system seen on the Hyundai Creta as well. So it is actually a familiar unit. This system includes Bluelink connectivity as well, along with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, which are also available as standard. So this system is available from the basic variant itself, which means there is no lack of features even on the basic variant, except for the fact that the basic variant does not get 360 degree surround view camera or the blind view monitor or this fully digital instrument cluster. So this system, we already know this, it is very easy to use, and it also gets inbuilt navigation along with other things, including voice commands for the electric sunroof as well. Let's just try that right now. Open sunroof. So this works perfectly fine, and when you press this button, it actually guides you what all commands it offers. So these are the commands on offer. You can call Abhishek on mobile, find KFC New Delhi, these sort of things. So it just gives you an idea as of what you can do with the voice commands. So that is pretty nice. Let's just shut the sunroof using this physical button. So this sunroof is again the same unit seen on the Hyundai Creta as well, so no difference over here, and it is a pretty large sunroof as well. So that was all about the infotainment system. Coming lower down, you get to see the very same automatic climate control console as we already saw on the Hyundai Creta, so no difference whatsoever over here. And this wireless charging facility, the console over here, this also remains exactly the same as the Hyundai Creta as well. Well, coming to this center console, this is where the differences start. Even on the basic automatic variant of the Hyundai Alcazar, you get this very same plush and rich looking transmission lever. This here is a 6-speed torque converter automatic transmission. So this lever is exactly the same on all variants, all automatic variants, and you also get drive and traction modes as standard on all automatic variants, along with paddle shifters, which are made of really nice and robust materials. So this here is for the plus and this here is the minus. So paddle shifters basically add to the fun factor of the car's drive function and drive feel. I hope the Alcazar feels slightly more sprightly when driving in sports mode using these paddle shifters. Well, talking about the 360-degree surround view camera system, let me just put the car into reverse. And this is how the display looks like. It is well, almost exactly the same unit seen on the Kia Seltos as well. You get multiple guidelines and view angles as well. You can individually zoom in on whatever camera you want. This is the side display of the ORVMs, and this here is the rearward close-up display, and then this here is again the standard rear display. So this camera system is actually pretty clear and adequately crisp, if not the best. So this is pretty good in terms of function. The Hyundai Alcazar also offers 64 color ambient mode lighting, which can be completely changed according to your taste. Well, for that, let's first go to the settings, vehicle, and then comes the lights, and there is the ambient lighting. So you can change multiple colors. You can even set custom colors. So there is a total of 64 colors in option. So now it is currently in this orchid green. It is not so clearly visible because the brightness is very low. I guess you can mildly see the green over here. If you want to change the color, you can basically select whatever color you want. So let me just select that red over there, and yeah, so that's it. I have set custom color and brightness. So brightness is at full 10%. Since it's broad daylight now, I am unable to see the ambient mood lighting perfectly. However, you can see a hint of that ambient lighting over here. So this is about the interior ambient mood lighting. Then this top spec variant also adds ventilated front seats. Both these front seats are ventilated and they are so very cool to use. They get 3 different fan speed setting. So this here is the topmost third fan speed position. There is also the second and the first. So depending on the heat outside, you can adjust the ventilated seat function, and this is a boon while driving on hot days. Then of course, just like the Hyundai Creta, you also get an air purifier integrated into the center armrest itself. This here is the air quality indicator or the display for this air purifier. The availability of the air purifier over here means that this center armrest cannot be adjusted for sliding, but still you can open this for a decently large storage space over here with felt lining. So that is pretty nice. You also get a couple cup holders over here. The glove box is just like the Hyundai Creta's, and it is also cooled. And just like the Hyundai Creta, you also get multiple storage spaces with larger bottle holders on all doors. The leather quality is of course similar to the Hyundai Creta, except for the different color theme, and the front seats are hugely comfortable, with the top spec variants also getting ventilation function. Well, coming above, you get to see this very same IRVM, which also includes the BlueLink connectivity buttons over here, including the SOS, the emergency assist, and all those things. So this is the exact same IRVM. This is standard across all variants of the Hyundai Alcazar because all variants get BlueLink connectivity as standard. Then you also get a sunglass holder with felt lining on the inside, along with the controls for the electric sunroof and interior LED cabin lighting as well. So that is nice. Talking about safety features, all variants get dual airbags, ABS with EBD, ESP, traction control, hill hold, all-wheel disc brakes, rollover mitigation, brake assist, and reverse parking sensors. But it is only the top spec signature variant which gets front parking sensors, along with the 360-degree surround view camera, which is available even on the mid-spec variant, while also providing blind spot mirrors integrated into this instrument cluster itself. And additionally, the mid-spec and the top-spec signature variants also provide 6 airbags as standard, whereas the entry-level variant provides only dual airbags as standard. And basically that's it about the front cabin area of the Hyundai Alcazar. Let's just quickly get to the back seats where the actual differences start.
The Hyundai Alcazar also provides yet another standard feature, that is remote engine start-stop using the key fob. This feature along with the BlueLink connectivity is standard across all variants. First, to operate this feature, let's make sure that the car is locked. Then I'm long pressing the third button on the key fob. And voila, the engine is started and running with the air conditioner on. This feature will be very helpful in hot sunny days, and you can also turn off the engine by pressing the same button on the key fob. For this feature to work, the automatic transmission should be in the park mode while the manual gearbox should be in neutral.
Yes folks, I'm right now in the back seat of the Hyundai Alcazar top spec variant, and this is how the dashboard looks like. Well, this design may be exactly similar to that seen on the Hyundai Creta, but the color theme adds to the premium factor and a lot of features are integrated into this car. Talking about the rear seats, well, these are the captain chairs of this 6-seater model. So this significantly feels more premium when compared to the regular 7-seat model. Well, in terms of comfort, I am not sure because it exactly feels like the regular bench seat. The backrest is absolutely flat and so is the seat squab. So there is not a lot of support provided for the under thighs. As you can see, my thighs are still protruding away from the seats and my lower back does not get enough support. So this is not a full effort for a proper captain chair version. Instead, it is just a makeshift version. That's what I feel. But still, they provide decent level of comfort and they are okay. The Alcazar uniquely gets this integrated fixed center console for the captain chair version, which also integrates center armrest, which is also leather padded, soft padded, and it also gets a wireless charging facility in this center console itself, just like the front seats, along with cup holders as well. This center console, just like the front center armrest, also gets a decently large storage bin on the inside with felt lining. Rear AC vents are standard across all variants, and so is this center console on the 6-seater variants alone. And other feature which is standard across all variants is this retractable tray for the rear seat passengers. Well, these are actually very robust feeling, very strong, and I think they can withstand a bit of load, including your laptop or your food, whatever you want to place over here. And this also integrates a retractable cup holder as well. So this is how it works. I'm sure it's okay for medium sized cups. And you also get some netting over here for additional storage. There is also a storage pocket for your smartphone over here, along with the cup holder over here and your wireless charging facility. And there are obviously the large bottle holders on all doors. So in terms of storage, it is really good and well thought out. However, in terms of overall comfort and legroom, it is not the best. As you can see, I have adjusted the driver seat for my height, which is 5'11" for reference, and still I have just about adequate knee room, despite this rear seat being pushed all the way back. So for integrating the third row seats, they have actually compromised on the second row space and comfort. That is what I feel. Apart from that, the comfort is really good enough, and you also get a lot of features to play with, and you also get these sun blinds for the second row seats, which is a pretty neat touch because it covers the whole second row glass area, and that is pretty nice to shut out the sun as well. Well, that's all about the middle row experience of the Hyundai Alcazar top spec variants. Let's just quickly check out the third row.
Getting into the third row of the Hyundai Alcazar is also a rather straightforward affair. Both seats of the second row get the standard one-touch tumble down function and opens up a rather large and wide pathway for you to get in the third row. Let me just get settled here and closing the door.
So the actual problem comes when the second row seat is locked in place. That's because now itself I don't have a lot of under thigh support or knee room, and the third row seats are properly in their backward position. So this is a close look at the third row seats. You get adjustable headrests as standard, of course, along with the dual tone theme as seen on the front. So in terms of third row seat comfort, this is not at all great because the seat squab is completely low, almost on the floor, and you are basically sitting too much knees up. So there is no thigh support at all. And if I lock the second row seat in place in the same position when I was seated there, You can basically see that my knees are properly jammed behind the second row seats, and in case if I want to liberate more space, it is not going to be easy, definitely. So this is the amount of space, the minimum amount of space I will require if I am seated in the second row seats. And even after adjusting for that, I don't have a lot of space. My knees are still jammed over here. So this third row seat is basically not for adults. This is only for children or kids, as you can see the lack of space over here. So this is the most backward position of the second row seats, and you can properly see that there is no space at all for adults. That said, there is still a bit of comfort features available in the third row seats of the Hyundai Alcazar. You get proper adjustable rear AC vents on both sides, along with the rotary fan speed controller. So that is pretty nice and thoughtful of them. And both passengers also get their own separate USB charging port. So that is nice attention to detail and convenience, along with cup holders and some storage pockets as well. Coming to the roof of the third row seat, also you get to see individual LED lights. So this is really nice attention to features. Well, that's all about the third row experience. Let's just quickly take a look at the boot.
Opening the boot of the Hyundai Alcazar 7-seat SUV, well, in this case it is a 6-seater. With all seats in place, the Hyundai Alcazar provides 180 liters of luggage capacity, which is better than that seen on the XUV 500 or the new Tata Safari. That said, if you have only 4 or 5 passengers and you want much more additional luggage capacity, then you can simply fold flat the third row seats by pulling this tag on the back side. All variants of the Hyundai Alcazar provides 50-50 split folding third row seats as standard. And just a minute, let me just fold this side seat as well. Goes in the headrest. And here we go. Folding flat the third row seats reveals more than 500 liters of luggage capacity, which is going to be more than enough for your long tour. And yes, both the 6-seater and 7-seater versions get the facility to fold flat the second row seats as well. On the left side of the boot area, you get to see the Bose branded subwoofer integrated neatly into the bodywork. And there's also a small storage compartment under the boot floor, which can be used to store small items. Overall, the Hyundai Alcazar is a much more practical SUV than the Creta by providing massive luggage space. Now let's check out the engine bay. Let's now take a look under the bonnet of the new Hyundai Alcazar Petrol Top Spec Signature Optional Automatic variant. The bonnet is exactly the same as seen on the Hyundai Creta and also weighs exactly the same. That said, even on this top spec variant, there is no gas strut, and instead there is just a manual prop. So this here is the brand new 2-liter 4-cylinder non-turbocharged petrol engine producing 159 PS of maximum power and 191 Nm of maximum torque through either a 6-speed manual transmission or a 6-speed torque converter automatic gearbox. This engine is claimed to be strong in terms of performance by completing the 0 to 100 km/h dash in under 10 seconds. That said, even though I have not driven this car yet, the refinement levels is incredibly great, and the engine also remains greatly silent without any noise or vibration felt inside the cabin. However, with this large engine, the overall efficiency is not expected to be great. Apart from this, the Hyundai Alcazar also provides the very same 1.5-liter turbocharged diesel engine seen on the Hyundai Creta. Now let's conclude this review. So that was a detailed walk-around review of the brand new Hyundai Alcazar 6 or 7-seat SUV, which claims to compete against the Tata Safari, the MG Hector Plus and the new upcoming Mahindra XUV 700. First of all, just like the MG Hector Plus, the Alcazar is also extremely feature-loaded, while also providing segment-busting features such as a fully digital TFT instrument cluster, the smart blind view monitor system, along with intelligent connected car features and the remote engine start-stop function. Surprisingly, even the basic level variant provides a lot of standard features, including cruise control, panoramic sunroof, the large touchscreen system and reverse parking camera. That said, apart from all the features, the third row seats are meant only for kids, without the possibility of accommodating 6 or 7 adults in comfort. If you are in the market for an SUV which can accommodate 4 or 5 adults in comfort, along with a couple kids, having a powerful petrol engine option while also offering all the latest technology and features, then the Hyundai Alcazar can be a good choice for you. Meanwhile, this is Viprajesh signing off. See you on another video. Thank you for watching.